And so without any further ado, Scott, I really want you to perhaps share more of your story if you would like to do that tonight. I think that'd be great. I know from my perspective, when I think about you, I think about when we first met and just the energy, the spirituality, and where we just connected. Like I knew, and you knew, that this was a partnership that was in the hands of God. We just felt that energy, and we knew that we had to work together. And I'm so glad you came on board with us as our chief, as I was about to call you our chief medical officer, as our chief marketing officer. After your testimonial, hey, you might qualify. You've had some miraculous healing going on with your body, but just appreciate you for who you are. I know you've been featured in Time magazine twice, okay? And then on the cover of a magazine for your ability to work with companies and help make them billion-dollar big. We had a chance to meet your family, your wife, Kim. I've met your son, Blake, now for the second time. We were there also with Jim and just everyone who just really warmed our hearts and made us feel like we were at home. So thank you for opening up Goshen to us. We had the dream to bring this boot camp to fruition. At first, we thought it was going to be in Chicago. That didn't happen. And then we met you. And so we knew that God intended for us to have our very first boot camp in Goshen. We knew that that's a place of comfort. It's a place of plenty. And we did receive everything we needed in Goshen for us to take this to the next level. And so without any further ado, you can go ahead and take it away and just share the training you've prepared for tonight, okay?
Yeah, Melissa, you're awesome. From my chair, I've never, and I've just known hundreds. I've never known a CEO like you. I never want to know another one. As far as I'm concerned, I'm home. And so, I could stop flying and consulting and doing all that jazz. I could lay that aside. I found my space, and I fell in love with Akana this weekend. I mean, I thought I was doing something for you all this weekend, but you actually did something for me. And it was very special to me in all of my time in network marketing. I've never had more fun. I've never felt closer to anyone than I did those people that came out there. And I say that in all sincerity. I just don't make stuff up. And you guys probably know that by the way I trained, but I just don't make it up. I'm just very real and very straightforward about things. I can motivate, but I'm not much on hype. I really like to just say it like it is. And may I say, you are absolutely lovely. And I was touched to my very core from you all. And I'm still very high from it. I'm not sure if it was the stuff Mooney made me rub on my hands and smell, do that party thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm high on love because it was just, for me, it was just so special. And the way you all embraced and accepted me too was just amazing. And if you ever witnessed something like, the birth of a child or, some amazing find, or something like that that's brand new, that's exciting, that's a moment. It's kind of like that. It was a moment. And so boot camp, I get it. It was a good name, but I'm not sure we're not going to rename that sucker somehow because it was something completely different. The training was there and the stuff, but the feel of it was just another level. Talk about elevate. It was boot camp elevated. And so with that being said, I wanted to just touch base and make sure that, we're kind of on the same page. I know some of you couldn't make it. I'm sorry for that, but hopefully we'll give you a little bit of insight tonight. For those of you that were there, it's a little bit of a review, just touching base and doing some things like that. I'm experiencing it all over again because I've been eating leftovers since it was over. So I've got leftovers from the actual event. I'm munching on them and I'm remembering everything. The truth is, it's been an extended experience for me. So the first thing I would like to do is basically show you some things and explain a few things. This won't take long, by the way, but I want to go through this and bring to life a little bit of boot camp. First of all, let me explain this concept before I share screen. Number one, boot camp and anything that I do in the way of teaching and it's a very important part of my life and the way I've taught and the success my students have had and all that goes with it. It is crucial to understand that what I do is I do something called spiral learning. And that is I build on a first concept and then I build another spiral on top of it and build on a second concept and then a third concept, but they all hook together because it helps build remembrance. And when you have remembrance, it keeps you straight down the understanding and idea of the concept that we try to teach. In other words, it's like I was explaining, kind of like Lego blocks. One idea hooks to another, and it makes one structure. And so we're training for one structure. And I've been studying training videos and everything all day long, trying to come to so we're all very cohesive in the way that we approach this. And I look forward to sharing this in a training type of a platform soon. But I will first say that with that spiral concept in tow here, let me just bring this piece up to show you right now, and I'll share it. I'm going to ask if it loads correctly. And then once it has, it's taken a minute here, but once it is loaded correctly, I want to present. So let me bring it up to the presentation screen. And you let me know if that looks like it's on presentation. Is it big enough to view, Melissa?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let me explain this to all of you. This is a very simple chart, but it's meant to be simple. Everything that I do is very easy to understand, very simply placed, but it's based on concept principle, that is complex principles and put together that way. This is called the sphere chart. And soon we're going to load something even in our training center and stuff for you that you can actually print one of these off and write names in it or type names in it, whatever you want to do. But I want to make sure that you see this chart and understand it first of all. And it's going to be branded, by the way. Right now it's branded to my company, but it's going to be totally branded to Akana and everything that goes with it. So there are 3 spheres here, as you can see. Sphere 1 in the middle, sphere 2 around that, and sphere 3 on the outside. And from my standpoint, this is what I call a chart of remembrance. This is not hard to remember. And when you hear the words sphere chart, many of you from seeing it just this past weekend could go, I know exactly what that is, because it's that easy to remember. It's like when I wear my cross, it's an easy remembrance for me, right? And of my faith. This is an easier remembrance for me from the standpoint of how we think in Akana moving forward with our marketing message. So let's take a look. Sphere 1 it's called invite to, or I call it I2. And that is use any method at all that you feel that is easy for you to present your business to your closest contacts, to people who trust you, who you trust. Now, many of you are leaders. You've already signed up more than that. And so this may be a recap for you, maybe going out to redo it and be an example to everyone else. But bottom line is that you're just looking for 2 people, not 6, not 26, not 56. You're looking for 2 who trust you, who you trust, to bring them in an opportunity that you really owe it to them to show them if you love and care about them. So we're only dealing with 2 people. And when you go and talk to people, you're thinking in your mind, I'm seeking the 2 greatest people I can possibly find. That's all it is. 2 people who you trust, who trust you. Now, sphere 2, when you hear me say the word sphere 2, it's actually called invite 7 or I7. This is something we're going to talk about in a moment called marketing wardrobe, to present your business to 7 people. You're going to use the marketing wardrobe to present your business to 7 people that you're familiar with, but they're not maybe as close to you as those 2 that are in sphere 1. Those 2 that are in sphere 1 will probably sign up if you just ask them to. That's why I'm saying calling them on the phone, anything, will work in this particular case. It's so easy. It almost seems too easy. In this case, you're going to be delivering information to these people. You are not, I repeat, not trying to sell them or get them, quote unquote, in a business. You're simply delivering information to them. When they've received enough information, they'll make the decision for themselves. They'll either say, I'm not interested, and you can take them out of sphere 2 and find someone else. I'll talk about that in a minute. Or they'll say, hey, this is pretty cool. How do I get involved? They basically just moved themselves into sphere 1, and now you can sign them up in the business. You just continue to deliver information to these 7 people until they either disqualify themselves or they say, I'm interested to get in the business, and then you can help them get signed up. It's that simple. It's about delivering information and building trust. Remember, in the middle sphere, sphere 1, it's about people who trust you and you trust. You're just building more trust here so that they can believe in you and believe in the business. It's that simple. Sphere 3, we call this invite visibility, or IV. It's really the IV of your business. So as we continue down the path, these are contacts and people that you don't know, but you want to learn to know. In other words, these are leads. These could be leads, or these could be a list that you have, or some a group of people that you don't know, or it could be leads that we're going to generate that you're going to have access to. And we'll talk about that again in a moment. But basically, you're not trying to sell anybody anything here. Again, you're not pitching them on a business. You're simply making your business visible to them. This group will literally qualify themselves by saying, I'm interested, send me more information. And guess what? By saying that, or by showing some interest, they just move themselves from visibility into information. Now they're in sphere 2 and you're giving them information, building more trust until they move themselves into a sale. The only place you ever tell anybody, let's get started, is in sphere 1. Sphere 2, you're delivering information to them so they can start to learn to trust you in the business. And remember, sphere 3, this sphere, is just about visibility. So what you would be showing them here is more about things to make them understand. They don't know you and they don't know your business. So the type of stuff you'll send here is different. Have you ever gotten emails from people you have no idea who they are? And it's comp plan and 26-minute overview of their business and everything else under the sun? Good grief. Information overload. We have to place the right information at the right time with the right people in the right category in sphere 3, sphere 2, and sphere 1, and you'll succeed. All that being said, as a quick review, let's look at it again. Sphere 1, you're looking for 2 people. That's what that yellow 2 is. You're looking for 2 people we're going to invite to. Remember, this trust exists already. Sphere 2, the yellow circle around the red one, you're looking for 7 people. That's what that little sticker with 7 on it is. You're looking for 7 people that you want to start working on. You know these people, you're somewhat familiar, but you want to start delivering information to them and building trust. This whole idea and the information that you'll be sending them is designed to create more trust. Sometimes you have to send them something once, twice, 5 times, 6 times. Eventually they'll either say, not interested, leave me alone, they'll opt out, or they'll say, yeah, I like this. Can we have a call? Can we? Now they just moved themselves, okay, into sphere 1. And again, sphere 3, the visibility, which I didn't draw on this chart, I put it out there around the yellow. Everything around the yellow is just designed to create interest. So let's look at it backwards. Creating interest and then feeding that interest with information to build trust and then making a sale in the center. That, ladies and gentlemen, is sphere 1. And that is so easy. I'm talking crazy easy. Now I want to stop just for a second. And I want to just take a breath. And I want to come back to all of you and say, okay, share with me your thoughts around this for a second. And if you have a question, please ask a question. Anyone have a question or a thought or a comment? I'd be more than happy to answer any questions before we take the next step. You have to unmute yourself. Anything at all?
One thing I'll say, Scott, is For me, we're at the office, so excuse me, we're kind of walking through some of the rooms, but at the trust factor, when you said, who is it that you trust and they trust you? It's something about that right there that gets people to the core of, oh my God, I now know who to call. You understand? Like, I think people have been so focused all over the place trying to get so many people in their business. But when you broke it down to the heart of the trust factor, it quickly helped a lot of people close out two people relatively fast. And that, I think, for me, was the part I realized that was game over, because we've been struggling sometimes to recruit people, but we're trying to recruit people that are in 3 and 2.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when they're in 1, oh, they better sign up, because that means there's an issue with trust. Maybe they don't really trust me like I thought, or vice versa. So I think for me, that was my biggest takeaway. And I think that's the game changer. And I love that. And I think if they get that tonight, your business will fly.
Totally. And Melissa, here's the thing. It's kind of like, you know, the old story, the tortoise and the hare. The rabbit took off like crazy, but that turtle ended up winning the race because the turtle was just consistent, moving through the process. This is exactly that. You got people tearing out of the gate, throwing everybody in the kitchen sink at the wall, seeing what sticks, and all of a sudden their business is going backwards. They might have signed up a bunch of people, but they're dropping out. They're just, you know, the stuff's not there because they didn't feel the support before the sale. And so the thing it really started to disintegrate after the sale. And if there's no support before the sale, there won't be any after the sale. And that's what happens. That's why attrition is so high in a lot of companies. And so when you build trust on the front end, the support already happened. Now they come in excited, they buy the product, they stick with the product, they stick with the program because the trust is there and it is solid. Stephen Covey wrote a book called The Speed of Trust, which is a killer book from the standpoint of building trust and all those types of things. One of the most important elements in that, and you identified it, Melissa, is when you boil this whole thing down. I mean, if I just took Sphere and even boiled it down tighter than it is, it would just be that one word: trust. You build that, you win. The company wins, the downlines win, everybody wins. They stay on the product longer than 2 or 3 months. They stay in your team longer than, everybody stays together when you build that trust on the front end. Don't wait to build it on the back end. Build it on the front end and we win. And that's just the way it is. Anybody else at all?
I like the time sequence that everybody has a bucket, you know, that when you meet that new person in the airport, you don't have to move them to number 1. They don't qualify for number 1. You have not qualified yourself for that. So for people to know, hey, they didn't join me. I met them and I invited them and I showed them and they didn't do it, but they're not supposed to, because we got to earn that. So it's good also when you do for your first 2, when you sign your first 2 up, and when you move that next person from number 2 to number 7, everybody has a slot. So now people don't think, I got to do this and everybody got to do it right now. It's a process. And the way you put it out there lets everybody know, okay, I'm not doing anything wrong. This should be a process and different buckets for different people at different times. I like that.
Oh, thank you, Phyllis. Minister Mooney?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, for me, you pretty much let me do this. Let me cut off my camera because it looks like I'm freezing. Hold on. For me, what you did was put everything in perspective. Perspective in a way that now, looking at this funnel process, I can pretty much now, even for my team, like I was able to do it for my to put everything in perspective in regards to, well, what do my relationships actually look like? It was a wonderful process for me in a short period of time that I got a chance to kind of cheer myself on a little bit by saying, darn it, Some of the people that trust me and that I trust, they're already in the business. But at the same time, I was able to really like think of family members and friends that I've had for a long time that I never invited into the business. So it opened up for me like, wow, I got a cousin. Wow, I got a friend that used to live down the block. And I find myself looking at my funnel, my friends list, like, man, oh my God. And then evaluating like, wow, okay, well, I shouldn't be too excited about this person that doesn't really know me on this level or trust me on this level. I know where to put them in exactly in my funnel. And now I know what in the sphere effects, and I know what to share with them. And it made me more confident at what tools I can use or what I need to say that, okay, well, this is a person that they trust me. I trust them. I can open up with that conversation like, hey, we have this type of relationship. This is why I'm calling and why I'm talking to you. And they're like, okay, Mooney, give it to me. I know you. What's going on? So I was blowing up Phyllis and Melissa, today for 3 ways. Couldn't catch them, but praise God for Minister Ernestine.
Better, Willie. I've been here all day. Oh my
God. I'm the doctor, so I'm sorry. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's all right.
I told you that you got it. You did exactly the right thing. Ernestine was the best thing.
Yeah, let me tell you, Minister Ernestine was a great go-to today. Didn't matter about upline, downline.
That's right.
He sealed the deal and slam dunk. Hey, look, this is a good friend. This is a cousin. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I have some.
Go ahead.
Question. In level 2, zone 2, I'm sorry. The information that we're going to be sharing, is that something that we're going to, it'll be uniform, that we're all sharing the same information, or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We're developing right now what I would call I-7 tools, which means that's going to be that 7 people you're trying to keep in. And that reminds me too, you reminded me of this. We're also going to have some suggestions for your very, very first people, your closest, your I-2. We have some suggestions for that. That should be something really, really personal, like a phone call or a text message. The I-7's a lot of different types of things.
Yes.
And then the visibility is very specific too. You don't want to send them the wrong thing. You just want to make it visible, right? You just want to put it out there. All this is a quick tag out in that digital sphere out there in the place of, out there. And that really gets people interested, and you'll see who is and who isn't out there. They make themselves known. And that's when they move themselves in. Let's just say that Sphere 2 had 7 in it, and somebody said, oh, I'm interested, man, I'd love to get signed up, and they move themselves into Sphere 1. Now you got 6 people in that sphere. Now you're going to really push that visibility to try to get another person, or maybe you got a waiting list for Sphere 2. Okay. Let me explain this. Don't take all the people on your phone list and to dump them all into the visibility things, folks. Don't do it, because a lot of them don't belong in there. Get your best 7, and when one of them says, I don't want any more information, or they say, I'm moving on to Sphere 1, I'm ready to go, then take somebody else off your contact list, your personal contact list, put them in that sphere and start feeding them information. That outside Sphere 3 is more for leads, people you've never met and don't know. Okay. And that's a big deal.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. That opened up a really good, did open a good conversation. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
And this is just some of the conversations that was coming up since we left boot camp. You in Sphere 1, you're focusing on 2 people.
Always.
Okay. I just want to kind of look at this, and let's say right now we're focusing on the 2. I'm going to put it out like this. Are you specifically saying 2, and is there a length of time for that 2? Do I move to 3 and 4? What does that look like?
Great question. 2 people that you're specifically working on to help them get signed up and ready to go. These are 2 people that you'll ask questions like, are you ready to start? These are people you really know, who really know you. So it's not hard to go to them and say, let me get you going here. Can I walk you through the sign up? Let's start you with this package. This is my favorite. Or come to the party, let's get you signed up there. Any number of things. So you're constantly doing that in sphere 1. Simultaneously, Willie, you're sending information to 7 people. So you're actually talking to 2 people about getting in the business, but simultaneously you're sending sphere 2 people information to build that trust. So you're not doing one, then another, then another. Simultaneously, you're sending information out to them. By the way, that takes a couple minutes a day.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you went there. Good.
Yep.
Good. You're following me where I want to go. So now check this out. Sphere 1 person signs up. Now, after they sign up, do I put another person to keep 2 people in that sphere?
Yeah. And that may be a transition, Minister, because here's a couple things that'll happen. That transition, you may have somebody that you trust that trusts you. You're going to stick right in sphere 1 immediately. Or you may not. Now you got to work sphere 2 until one of those turn themselves into sphere 1. Sphere 1 may sit there with one person in it for a while. Until you can feel it happens on their time. You don't have a timeline. It happens on their time.
Okay, so
when they say I'm ready, they move themselves.
I love it. Well, let me ask this, and I'm being devil's advocate a little bit, but God friendly, right?
Yeah, man.
So somebody who has a lot of contacts, or let's say I have a lot of friends that trust me. I got a lot of friends that trust me, and excuse the lie, but I got a lot of friends that trust me. Is it wrong if I have 5 friends that are very close to me? Is it wrong for me to reach out to the 5 trying to put them in sphere 1, but they qualify to be in sphere 1?
Great question. Start with 2.
Okay.
Have in your mind your own waiting list.
Okay.
In other words, rank those. It's hard to do this, okay, but rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go with the first 2, then the second 2. And the reason is because you want to get 2 and help them start to drive their business. It's more than just getting 2 people. It's helping those 2 people duplicate what you just did. Get them on a sphere training, get them on a get to training, which we're developing and ready to go, and get them with the app and just get them pumping, and then put your next 2 in your sphere and keep it rolling. Yeah. But here's the most important thing I'm about to say.
Okay.
Because everybody on this call, they're leaders, everyone, all y'all leaders. For us to say 5 is nothing. Right? For us to say 5 or 7 or whatever, that's on our mind. But remember, this is not about the leadership core. It's about the 98% who fail in this business.
Gotcha.
We want to make this clean and easy and simple. I only want them to worry about 2 people.
I got you.
Not 4 and not 6. And don't train it like that. We really are just getting 2. And once they help those 2 get 2 and work with those 2, doing 3 ways to get each of those 2, and it starts to drive down, then they can think about going back and building out another 2. That's fine. But let's drive it down, 2 and down, 2 and down, 2 and down. And that's how you build that. That's how you build a business that way. And by the way, same thing with sphere 3. Simultaneously, you're sending out sphere 3 stuff, creating visibility and stuff. So let me ask you a question, being, how did you say, a devil's advocate, but what was it, brother?
God friendly.
God friendly. So sphere 3, let's just say you got sphere 2 with 7 people, okay? And somebody in sphere 3 shows interest, but you already got your 7. Don't worry about it. Bring your sphere 3 in when they come in. When they come in, bring them in. Even if it goes up to 9 or 10, let that sphere 2 fill up just a little bit more and just start sending information to more people. Eventually, you yourself would disqualify somebody if you sent them 8, 10 pieces of information you haven't heard from somebody. Move them out yourself.
Move.
Okay,
Okay.
because some people won't leave out of just trying to be polite. Just move them out yourself. If you haven't heard from somebody in a long time, move them out yourself, and then start to fill sphere 2. Keep those, but never turn down a visibility who wants more information. Put them right in sphere 2. It can load
Gotcha.
up. Any other
Gotcha.
questions?
Love it.
I'm amazed at you all. This is amazing to me. So I do want to show something else real quick, and I'm going to do that right now. Let me share screen again. I hope everybody can see this okay. Somebody shout at me if you can see it okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, great. This is a presentation that is similar to what you just saw, but I want to work some detail into this. Remember invite 2? Well, there it is in the middle. Remember that one? That's your sphere 1. Remember invite 7? That's your sphere 2 with the 7 people. And then I'm going to talk a little, just real quickly, about the power of 2. So let's take a look at this, first of all, using the invite 2 I2 tool. First of all, why 2? Again, because you owe it to your closest people. This isn't about them doing you a favor. You have to think about this differently. You're doing them a favor. You're giving them a life-changing opportunity. This is going to explode. This isn't a might or a maybe. That's not the way I go. It's going to. And so right now, above all times, the people that you care about, get them involved. I had someone ask me this question earlier today, been on the phone all day. Somebody asked me this question today that says, well, what if I'm pretty sure that person's not going to do anything? I guess the real question is, why aren't they going to do anything? Maybe it's because they've never been taught. Maybe it's because they've never been motivated or excited about something. Why don't you give it a try? Why don't you give it a try and try it again? And just say, this is important, and I want you to hear this, and come to this business presentation, or listen to this 3-way phone call, please. And let them make their own decision. Don't disqualify them just because of anything that's happened in the past or a preconceived notion about someone. And by the way, when your people get in the business, remember, this is about getting new people in. When they get in, help them move quickly. Try to get them to contact and deliver information to their closest 2 people within 48 hours. I like to say 24 hours, because you're your most excited and motivated when you first get in a business. They should be moving right then. And because they might not have the information, they might not be real confident, you do it with them. Get right in there with them and help present or help talk to their closest people who trust them, who they trust, and start to build that relationship like that. That's a big deal. That's why we do this. By the way, I believe texting and calling someone is the best way to do this. Very non-confrontational. To text. Emails, sometimes they're delivered, sometimes they're not. A lot of people don't even look at their emails anymore. So I believe texting or personal call or a meeting, face-to-face meeting. Invite them to a party. That's excellent. So this is a big deal, and it's important. So that is our focus, and we call that our hot market, by the way. Those are the people that you're absolutely the closest to, and it's a very, very big deal. So that's the hot market piece. Now, it's easy to use this app that I'm going to show you. I'm going to continue to show you. We've developed an app. We're going to launch it when I feel like people are doing their part, which I'll talk about momentarily. But the app, you log into the app. You got one choice here. You got 3 buttons. You got to log in where you can put your personal information, buy your leads, or whatever you're going to do in there. But you got 3 buttons. That's it. This isn't a complex thing. Now, the workings of it are complex, but the way to work it, trust me, you got 1 button to press. The others are locked. So you got one choice here. red number 1. That's it. Press that. It'll bring up, see the one on the left, your screen? It'll bring up a screen that says from my contacts, from my purchased leads, or manual entry. All you got to do, and let's just say in this case, we're going to pick from my contacts because this is actually a hot lead. This isn't a leads list thing. This is a hot lead. This is somebody that you know that knows you. So from my contacts, and it'll bring up all the contacts on your phone. You scroll through it just like you would scroll through your contacts on your phone. Remember that person, go, oh man, my very close friend, absolutely, and then click next. And once you've clicked next by choosing from your personal contacts, the top button locks and the middle one opens. You got one choice once again, yellow number 2. Click on yellow number 2. It opens up all the things that you're going to send. Now, these are just mock things. These aren't the things. We're getting those done and placed as we speak. There's a couple of things I wanted to add, and we're doing that now. So it'll show you if it's an IV or visibility. It'll show you if it's an I7, and that's for your Sphere 2, or to show you if it's an I2 for someone you know that you personally know. So you're going to click on whichever one you want to do, and you're going to want to do that, and you're going to want to hit next. And the next thing that happens is, you guessed it, the top 2 buttons are locked now, and the bottom one's open. You press on that, it opens up a screen. That Brian Rassy, that's a contact of mine, and basically it'll just show it. Here it is. Boom, boom, boom. It's got everything on there. If you wanted to edit something, you could, but it's just basically confirming that you chose what you chose, and then hit send now. Boom. The next thing that would happen in that scenario is red number 1 would open back up again, and you could start over with a second contact. So you can do that as an I2 tool if you want to. Many of you don't need to do that. You know your personal 2 who trust you, who you trust. You can just call them up, do whatever. Now let's talk about Sphere number 2. Sphere number 2, or I7. Here and again, here's your app, piece of cake. Log in. Now, you could log into your back office here, choose leads, all that stuff. I just chose that to give you an example of what happens when you hit the login button. Now, here we go. Red button, guess what? It brings up your choices from my contacts, from my purchased leads list. Now, manual entry is where you just enter somebody's name. Maybe you met them on the elevator or at a store somewhere, and they want some, you talk to them for a minute. They said, hey, I'd love some information. You just enter their name, their cell phone number or whatever, maybe email, but you could send them from manual as well. But in this case, let's look at purchase leads list. So you purchase some leads from this very app. Let's say you want to send out a few a day, whatever you want to do, and it takes you to your leads list. Now you scroll through your leads list, you pick one of those and click next. Then it opens up, you guessed it, button number 2, and guess what? Choose what you want to send them. In this case, this is a lead that you don't know, so it's going to be an IV. You're going to pick the visibility, one of the visibility pieces, and you're going to click next. Once you've done that, button number 3 opens up. There it is. Just check your information. Make sure everything is what's supposed to be. If it's not, click edit and redo it. And once you're satisfied, send now. Boom. You're done. That's powerful. Now, how big of a deal is it that we're talking about I2 and all that goes with it? Well, it's $1 billion big. And without getting too crazy, I'll just show you. 15 months, our company could be $1 billion big. You heard me correctly, 15 months. Now, don't stare at that too long. It'll make you cry out loud. But the biggest challenge for me is that I don't want to think $1 billion in my mind. I think about 2 people who I care about, and I'm going to talk to them. And then I want those 2 people to do exactly what I just did. In the next 24 to 48 hours, I want them to think about 2 people they care about. Do you realize, even without the I7 tool, the Sphere 2, we could build $1 billion company on Sphere 1. But I'm giving you Sphere 2 for those of you that really want to go. Sphere 2 is you're sending information all the time. You're wanting to build, baby. You're wanting to hit ranks. You're wanting to do all that stuff. Sphere 2 is where it's at. Sphere 1, you got it. You got it. And help other people have that kind of confidence. They got it. And walk with them. Don't send them out into the cold by themselves. Come on. Get Phyllis on the phone. Get Willie on the phone. Get your upline on the phone. Get somebody that knows how to talk to somebody. Don't just send them out there on their own. Maybe you can help them. Stay on the phone with them. Talk to those people. Don't just leave them hanging out there. Show them that they got a support system. You know what I like to do? I know it's going to blow your mind. Some of you will love this. Some of you will hate it. I'm going to tell you anyway. I don't do a 3-way phone call anymore. I do a 5-way phone call. I literally have 5 people on the phone. 5 people. I got myself a little conference line. I give everybody the number and I say, join me. Could you guys join me? Could you join me right now? And all of a sudden there's this person on there and they got 4 or 5 other people on there and everybody's talking and giving their testimonies. Oh, man, it's a sale all day long because it shows there's activity, there's passion, there's excitement. Are we in this together or not? Oh, we're in this together. We're here for each other. I fully expect to be on a few of these calls. Okay? But don't invite me to a 3-way phone call. Invite me to a 5-way phone call. And I'm in. I'm in all day long. It's not because I'm so special. It's because I want you to win. 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 This is very important. This company will live or die by the success of Sphere 1. It'll live or die by the Sphere 1. It's huge. It's massive. Now, Sphere 2 is designed for those of you that just want to keep filling it. Keep filling the bucket. Keep filling the bucket. Keep filling the bucket and making the sales. And super success. And now visibility. Keep filling up Sphere 2. And once those people say, hey, I'm interested in this, show me more, boom, they just move themselves to Sphere 2. Sphere 2 says, wow, this is awesome, I'm in. They just move themselves to Sphere 1. Boom, game over. Does this take time? Does it take effort? Does it take energy? Yes. But do you know how much time it takes? I told some of y'all boot camp. Do you remember? You remember how much time a day? 6 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yes, 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes a day. Let me tell you what 6 minutes a day does for everyone. And this is why it's important that you teach your team. When we launch the app, especially, because that's what takes 6 minutes. Button, choose, button, choose, button, review, send. Button, choose, button, choose, button, review, send. You just sent 2 leads. Button, choose, button, choose, button, review, send. That's 3. And how quick can you go through 5? You want to do 5 a day? That's what I recommend. That'll take you 6 minutes maximum. 6 minutes a day. It does these 2 things. Number 1, it grows your business. It grows interest. It grows visibility in the business. It really starts pushing things out. Okay. It gives you people to talk to. And true success is never running out of people to talk to. That's what success in this business is. Never running out of people to talk to. Now, that being said, it does another thing too. Because, you know, if you got money on your mind and your mind is on money and all that goes with it, if you got your money on your business, business is on your mind. It sets you in a place where you are businessmen and women. You are no longer network marketers. You are no longer somebody that's in a network marketing company, an MLM company, a direct sales company, a this or that. They can title me all I want. I make up my own title. I am a businessman. You are a wildly successful businessman or woman. You're in the greatest industry on earth. It has created more millionaires than any other industry on planet Earth. And I'm telling you right now, be proud of that. And when you work the business every day, every day, every day, every day, when you touch the business every day, the business touches you back. And it's success at a high level. And I got news for you. When that happens as a full group, watch out. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Success is on the way. Is this very easy and simple? Yes, it is. But we have to be the examples and do the deal. Let me tell you where the potential for it to break down, then I'll take questions. Let me tell you where the potential for it to break down is. But the potential for it to break down is after the two are in, teaching them the system to get there too and move on. They need to be on a call like this one right here. And I'll do as many of these as you want me to. I will do this call live every night. I will make trainings of this call. I will do whatever it takes. When you get those people in the business, get them on this call. When you get those people to get their people, get those people on the call. When those people get there too, get them on the call. We have 5,000 people on a call. I'll be a happy man. I'll be happier when we got 10,000. I'll be happier when people are flooding the gates for the live call and filling up the recorded calls. That's when we see success, because that's duplication in action. Don't stop at just getting the two. Get them then in the education system of that. And you don't have to do it. I mean, some of you love to do it. Do it. But what I'm saying is, bring them to me. I will teach them. They will know and they will learn and they will feel the same passion that you feel for me, because we are on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Akana Nation, we're on our way. You guys have questions for me? I'd love to answer them.
Hey.
$1 million big baby.
No, right?
Billion.
So question, Scott, how often will we do this call like this? Do we have a schedule for it? Or?
That's really wildly up to you guys.
Okay.
You got goal number one, and that's everybody that was at boot camps bringing me two. As soon as we feel that duplication, and by the way, I'm not checking the numbers. I'm calling somebody at corporate and saying, where are we? And I give them, by the way, I give them full authority to lie to me. If they're just ready to go and they throw the switch, I'm going. But accountability is big for me. And I told y'all, go get them. Okay? And when you get them, I'm releasing the app. And then let's just say this to answer your question directly. That's a lot of people I got to train. We better have a couple calls. Okay? And then those people will be fired up. And then I think we better have some more calls. And those people will be fired up. And I think we better have some more calls. The entire $1 billion big company is built in Sphere 1. You don't even want to know what the numbers look like when Sphere 2 kicks in. And the visibility, you don't want to know what those numbers look like. I could show you a couple companies, okay? But the truth is, it's powerful. More importantly than anything, it's saving a lot of people. A lot of people are hurting out here. A lot of people need this. A lot of people need this income. A lot of people need it. We owe it to them to give them this opportunity. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission for mankind. And its name is Akana. We're going to do it. Other questions? God, I'm fired up.
Yes, I have one. So the database, you have a database already with contacts or cold calls?
Yeah, I create my own. I develop my own leads. And no small amount of them. Let's just put it this way. Akana can't outsell me on leads.
Okay.
I generate
So
lots of leads.
Will our contacts become part of those leads? I mean, be in your database as well?
When you go to that app and you purchase leads, you're purchasing it from our system where we generate those leads. So they're literally leads that were developed exclusively for Akana.
Okay.
They're not sold 26 times like lead lists are. These leads are developed just for this company, so you can be sure when you're scrolling through there, you're getting people that are real. I don't recommend anybody buy tons of leads. And I'm only allowing this app to let you send one at a time, because I think you ought to pay attention to those people, right? And that's a big deal as well. Really, really pay attention to those people individually. And don't send too many at a time. Just send 5 or 6 or 8 a day, whatever you think you can do. So many days a week, you choose. We don't have the pricing on it yet. We've already developed just hundreds of thousands of these leads just testing. just testing.
Okay.
But I want to drive that price down as I'm doing multiple split testing on those and doing some other things. And so we can all be in that space. I'm not in the leads business. I'm not about
Okay.
making money on leads. I'm about Akana being $1 billion big. And that's why I came. That's why I
Okay.
came. Yes.
Thank you. But hold on, I wasn't finished yet.
Okay.
Because I don't think you answered my question. Will our contacts become part of the leads or no?
Oh, the other one, no.
Okay.
No. Your contacts are on your phone. It interfaces
Right.
with your phone, but it doesn't take from your phone. That's illegal, by the way. But it interfaces with your phone, and it literally your phone takes over from there. Any
Okay.
texting, phone calling, any sending, that all goes from your phone. It's interfaced
Okay.
with your phone. Yeah.
All
Good
right.
question.
Thank you.
Very good question. Sure.
So Scott, just to follow up on that, because there's another level. We also have our contacts in our Akana back office. And so will this app integrate with those people who are our customers in our Akana back office?
Presently, no, because I don't want to cross-generate those simply because some people may want that and some may not. So I leave those alone, but you could enter them yourself manually if you want to. That would take some time. But if you want to enter them manually and start sending from the app, you can do that. But I don't want to do it automatically because some people want that and some don't. We're okay with that.
Scott, you know,
Yeah.
this is probably a basic question, but I want it answered because I'm not very organized.
Yep.
So if I'm sending out the click of the button, how do you see me capturing it where I know where I know who is in my sphere 1, who is in my sphere 2, and who is in my sphere 3? Am I writing in a notebook? How do you see me doing this in the most simplest way?
Got you. This is important for everyone to hear this. And then I got to let you guys go because many of you have a top of the hour call. Okay. But that's probably one of the better questions I should ask. So you got to keep track of the 2 in the middle and the 7 around that. Is really, you got to functionally keep track of that. I don't connect a CRM to this. I don't have an automatic tracker that shows all the people and does all. I don't do that. And I don't do it for a couple reasons because I want you to have a personal invested relationship in those 2 people in sphere 1 and those 7 or so in sphere 2. Really know who you're dealing with and don't overwork this by continuing to push leads, because that doesn't work. I don't care what anybody says anywhere, anytime. I'll debate them on it. It doesn't work. Leads don't work. So yeah, man, it's a great question. Know the 2 people in the middle and know the people in the 7 enough to continue to work with them, send them stuff, and develop a relationship with them. And you won't forget them. And once they're on your team, you'll never forget them. And that's how you do that. I'd recommend a notebook. Some of you will keep it on a computer, that type of thing. But move people in and out. Like I said, it's just a few minutes a day. You can do it. But I don't keep any of the tracking stuff because it just clogs the system up. Okay?
Scott, I have a quick question. I know we're getting ready to close out, but
Sure.
the information that we were saying that we're going to all be on the same information, is that not going to happen until the app is together, or is that something that we'll get
Before?
Yeah,
it'll happen before. That
Okay.
information will come out before.
Okay.
I just want to brand it to Akana so it's not about me.
Okay.
I want to brand all that to Akana and make sure that that's all done that way.
Mhm.
And then that'll be out first.
Okay.
And then the app will come second after
Okay.
everybody, builds the
What
thing
they're
up.
supposed to do. Yes.
Yeah, we go.
Okay. Thank you
It's
so
all good.
much.
You bet. Thank you, everybody. I'm out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Melissa, you still there?
Hey, I'm
Say a
here.
word? Okay.
Amazing call tonight. Thank you for all the great questions, guys. This is on the recording, so we'll have Dr. Ross shoot it out to each one of you so you can set with your new 2 people and let them hear this so they can go get their 2, all right?
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you guys very much.
God bless
Great
y'all.
call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great call.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Scott.
Moshi moshi, everyone.
Hey,
Moshi
Becca.
moshi.
Good night.
Moshi, glad you're okay, buddy.
Hey, Moshi Moshi.
Thank you, everybody.
Doing well.